before going inside the topic, I would like to go through the previous ones and let us see how many of you are able to remember this. Okay, and let's begin. So let us do a quick recap. So Hare Krishna. So I'm going to ask you very quickly. You have to tell me which shloka. Hare Krishna. I would like to go through the right. Share and don't share the screen. Okay. Okay. So what was this verse? As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. Anybody can tell what is the shloka? It's a very famous and important shloka.
Starts with V.
Starts with V.
But
is it Vasamsi? No, it's not Vasamsi.
Vasamsi.
No, it's not.
Dehinasmin
Yes.
yatha dehe.
Yes, it's Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara.
Kaumaram yapa
Tata dehantara prapti dhirastatranam.
dhirastata.
Okay. Okay, so what is this? Appearance of and disappearance of summer and winter seasons. What is the connection between winter, summer, and Bhagavad Gita?
Shitoshna sukha dukkeshu.
Shitoshna sukha dukkada. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada. So what does that mean? How do we relate that?
The one who is equipoised will take both summer, winter, pain and pleasure in at equal level.
Okay, that's nice. Now this is Vasamsa Jirnani Yatha Vihaya. That is just like how we change dress every single day.
Correct.
The soul is changing the body, just like putting on new garments, right? We're just doing a quick recap of last class, okay? Okay, what is this? All the purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Okay, the question is, what is that great reservoir of water? What is that great reservoir of water and what are that small wells?
Great reservoir water is Supreme Personality of Godhead and the wells are all this one, our demigods.
Okay, all the Vedic rituals, everything will come into that. Everything will come into that. Rest, everything other than Krishna, whatever is there, everything is come into small wells. Like, so we get everything from Krishna. That's what it means. So what's the verse? Anybody can remember the shloka? Tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. Yavanarte udapane sarvata samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu
Udapane, correct.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, good. Next one. Okay, what about this tortoise? What is the tortoise doing in Bhagavad Gita?
Is it Mukam Karoti Vachalam, Prabhuji?
No. The tortoise and Bhagavad Gita, what's the correction?
It withdraws his senses and controls his sense. There's no sense gratification. That's how we have to control ourselves, just like how tortoise controls.
Yeah, it's about the man of steady intelligence. The man of steady intelligence can withdraw his senses from the sense objects. You see, withdrawing the senses from the sense objects is also called as something in yoga, Ashtanga yoga. Anybody can say
Pratyahara.
Pratyahara, right? Pratyahara, that's right. So withdrawing from the sense object, the senses are always engaging in sense objects. Withdrawing it like a tortoise, right? That's what a sage with who is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness, steady intelligence, sage of steady intelligence can do it. Okay, right, that's right. Okay, so strong wind sweeps away a boat on water. Okay, like that. Similarly, what is it that sweeps away what? What is the analogy for this?
Kama.
No.
Then moha.
No,
Maya.
No, what is the boat which is getting swept away?
The boat is ourselves, Prabhuji.
Carries man's
Jivatma.
intelligence, Prabhuji.
Ourself or anything more specific?
Carries man's intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay. As a strong wind sweeps away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away man's intelligence. Right? So that is Indriyanam hi charatam yanmanonu vidhiyate tadasya harati prajnam vayur namam ibam bhasi. Okay, that's nice. Let's go to the next one. We're doing a quick recap of first version of this. Lust burns like fire. What burns like fire? Lust burns like fire. It says, a wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and burns like fire. Lust is like fire. The more wood you supply, the more fuel you supply to the fire, it just keeps burning. There's no end for that, right? Similarly, lust is like that. There's no end for it. Blazing fire turns firewood into ashes. Very interesting. What's that? What is that blazing fire? And what is that firewood? What is a blazing fire? Transcendental knowledge. As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, so Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all the reactions to the material activities, karma. If you want your karma to be burnt off, then you should take to the fire of knowledge. That's what it means. Okay. The sun lights up everything during the daylight. What is the comparison for? Why is the sun being spoken about? And what is the darkness here?
Ignorance.
Okay. Just like however one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed. So the sun is the knowledge. And with knowledge, everything is revealed. You say knowledge is power, right? What is that knowledge? The topmost knowledge is Krishna consciousness. Vasudeva Param Jnanam. Knowledge about the super soul, Krishna, is the topmost knowledge. Okay. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. What's this?
Manigana iva.
Yes. Yeah. What is the comparison here? What are the pearls and what is the thread?
The thread is the consciousness, Krishna consciousness.
And the pearls?
Pearls are all the planets.
Anybody wants to try? What is the thread?
The thread.
Paramatma.
Yeah. Krishna is the thread. Right? Krishna is the thread. It says, Mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre maniganayam. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So Krishna is the thread, invisible thread, and everything is resting on Krishna. Okay, so that was about the first part. Now we are going to continue to the second part. Okay, let's go to the second part. We have something very interesting. Let's start. Let's start with the first one. Okay, so, okay. Now here is the first one. If the superiors are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Now that's not exactly an analogy, but it's a kind of some kind of a comparison by Arjuna. So what is the meaning of getting tainted by blood? So anybody can tell me what's the meaning of that, tainted by blood? Tainted by blood. So who is speaking this? That, you know, we will enjoy, our kingdom will be tainted with blood when we'll be enjoying that.
Arjuna Guruji.
Arjuna is saying that. That's right. And why is he saying that?
He doesn't want to kill the relatives, Guruji.
He doesn't want to kill the relatives, right? So he's saying this, that if I'm going to just a minute. If I'm going to kill everybody in this war, then what will happen? I'll have to enjoy a kingdom which will be tainted by the blood of these superiors. It's a very powerful statement, is it not? So what happens? So he's saying, Krishna is saying fight. Arjuna is saying, if I fight, what will happen? I'll have to kill. He has to kill whom? Superiors. Superiors, right? So superiors, who are the superiors? So there's a verse also, Guru na hatva hi mahanubhavan. Do you remember? Guru na hatva hi mahanubhavan.
Atataina.
Yeah. Yes. So who are the gurus of Arjuna? Who are the gurus?
Dronacharya.
Dronacharya, Kripacharya, Bhishma.
Dronacharya, Kripacharya, and Bhishma. So why are they gurus? Why is Dronacharya guru?
Start archery.
Archery. Okay. What about Kripacharya?
Kripacharya is Kuluguru.
Kulaguru. Okay. Bhishma.
Bhishma is grandfather.
Grandfather.
Grandfather. Yeah. Sometimes guru also means superiors. So the verse goes like this. Guru na hatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhaikshyam api haloke atvartha kamastu guru nihaiva bhunjina bhogan rudhira pradigdhan. Okay, kindly mute yourself. Yeah. Rudhira pradigdhan. Rudhira means blood. Okay, let's just see that. Very powerful comparison. Arjuna is giving a strong argument. I don't want to fight because if I'm going to fight, I have to kill the teachers and their blood will be on my hands, blood on the hands. And everything that we'll be enjoying will be tainted with their blood. Do you want me to do that? How can I enjoy that kind of kingdom? Very powerful statement, right? Let's see something. I'll not be able to dispel it even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. Who is saying that and to whom?
Arjuna is saying.
Okay, why is he saying that? Is it normal that people of Kali Yuga say this? You see, we have seen so many kingdoms, right? So why only speak about the invaders, right? Of course, the invaders are ruthless. Even our own people also, we have seen so many kingdoms that when there is a kingdom at stake, right? People will be ready to do anything. How many of you heard such histories? Right? So I've heard in one of the stories that Ashoka, the king Ashoka, who is considered to be very great, he killed his 99 step-brothers just to eliminate everybody to get the kingdom. Who has heard the story about Aurangzeb, right? What did Aurangzeb do? Anybody can say?
He killed his brother and he sent the head to his father as a gift.
Yeah. So, when the kingdom is at stake, people can do anything. So why talk about Kali Yuga? Kali Yuga is very degraded Yuga. And when Mantara poisoned the mind of Kaikeyi, what did Kaikeyi ask for? Right? Kaikeyi, what was the boon that she asked for? 2 boons. Anybody can say?
Rama should go to the forest and Bharata should take the empire.
Yes. Why? Rama is the eldest son and he was supposed to be getting the kingdom. So if Rama is eliminated, if he's going for the 14 years to forest, what will happen? What's the idea behind sending to 14 years? She could have said only like, okay, Bharat Maharaj, let him just make Bharata king. Why should Rama be sent to the forest? Who can say that? What's the strategy behind it? There's just there's a whole strategy behind it.
So
Perhaps
that
to kill the
Bharata can
Ravana,
take
sir,
over the
Prabhuji.
kingdom. Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu?
To kill the Ravana, Prabhuji.
No. I mean, just think from the point of view of mantra, that she is advising Kaikeyi, ask for two boons. First boon is make the king, Bharata as the king, and send Rama to the forest. Why he should be exiled to forest?
So that Bharata can take over the whole kingdom.
Yeah. What if Rama is going to stay there only? Then what's going to happen? This is called Kutaniti. We are learning Kutaniti in Bhagavad Gita class. If
And there will be chaos in the kingdom, Prabhuji.
yeah, because
They-
people will revolt, isn't it?
Yes.
They will revolt. And if he goes to the forest, what are the possibilities? What is the
The high
benefit of?
chance of him some animal eating him up.
Yeah,
And in the meanwhile, there is enough time for Bharata to establish himself in the hearts of the Ayodhya residents.
that's right. You got it right. Yes. So 14 years, who knows he will come back or not? He may be even dead. So that's what is the idea. And in 14 years, Bharat Maharaj will become a very good king and capture the hearts of everybody. By the time he comes back, maybe he'll come and fight a war. And then, Bharat Maharaj's mind is changed now. And then he'll fight a war and defeat him. So that's the idea. So this is actually the mindset of Kali Yuga people. Do you agree? Yes or no? Right? So this happened back in Treta Yuga. You all agree, right? This is what happens everywhere. I tell you, every single party, political party, anywhere there is inheritance, lot of inheritance, we don't find Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna, right? We see Vali and Sugriva, right? So that's what happens. So, but here, what is contrary is, here he is saying, contrary to all these people, Arjuna is saying, even if you give me the kingdom of heaven, unrivaled kingdom on the heaven also, even the demigod's kingdom, heaven also to me, I will not be able to win over my grief. Why? What does it show about the character of Arjuna? Is it good, bad?
He doesn't want to kill his family members and cousins. So he's not able to fight with them.
The thing is, he's not interested in that kingdom. Do you agree? He's not interested in the kingdom. How many of you agree to what I'm saying? That, from this statement, it's very clear that Arjuna, his motive of fighting the war is definitely not getting the kingdom. That's the last thing on his list. Am I right?
Not at the cost of his own relatives.
Not at the
That-
cost of his own relatives. He doesn't want to kill them and take it. If they give it, that's fine. But he doesn't want to kill them, right? So that shows his soft-heartedness as a devotee. Of course, it can be taken in another way also, but let's focus on the positive side. I can find no means to drive away this grief, which is drying up my senses. I'll not be able to dispel it even if I win prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on the earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. So only for such a person, Krishna will be ready to give knowledge. For a person who is not interested, who is not like all the kings, simple kings that we spoke about, right? Krishna, I mean, if you have to get this knowledge of Krishna consciousness, the mind should be like that of Arjuna. Arjuna's mind is, he is not interested in anything, not at the cost of killing his own relatives. The doors of the heavenly planets have been opened. Who said this and to whom? Who is saying
Lord
this?
Krishna said to Arjuna.
What is the context? I mean, what is he trying to say? What are the doors of heavenly planets? And we'll also talk about doors of hellish planets. There are two doors, right? There is heaven and then there's hell. The doors of heavenly planet are what? The doors of hellish planets are what? Let's see. Who can answer that? What are the doors of the heavenly planets? Okay, let's see that. For a Kshatriya, at least. It's like this. It says, anybody want to read the shloka?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
यदृच्छया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतं सुखिनः क्षत्रियः पार्थ लभन्ते युधं मीदृशम्. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So the thing is here, for the Kshatriyas, a fighting opportunity is actually door for heavenly planets. Of course, one may argue on the opposite side, like, why should we have a war at all? But the answer for that is, in this material world, there was never a time when there was no war. War is always happening. Okay. So, for example, the wars right now in the world, there are at least 6 wars that are raging. And always there are wars. There has been never a time in the history that there was no war. War is inevitable because the material world is designed like that. People are envious of each other. Okay, because of the 3 modes of material nature, especially because of mode of passion and ignorance, there will be war, there must be war. But now, if you consider war as a duty for a Kshatriya or a person who is an army fighter, it is his duty, just like how our profession is our duty, right? For the army man, military man, his duty is to fight, right, until death. That is his duty. Our duty may be something else. And for such a person bravely who fights, for a Kshatriya who fights very bravely without showing his back, the Vedas say that such a person goes to the heavenly planets. Swargadwaram, it says, what does it say? Swargadwaram apavritam. So the doors of heavenly planets are open for all that military men and Kshatriyas are valiantly fighting. That's why we give Paramvira Chakra, is it not? For those people who fight very nicely. Now, what are the doors of hell? Who can tell me what are the doors? These are the doors of heaven. What are the doors of hell now? There are 3 doors to hell.
Kama, Krodha, lust, greed, and anger.
Yeah, lust, greed, and anger. Kama, Krodha, and Lobha. Lust. When somebody becomes very lustful, then it's actually a door for hell. Anger is a door for hell. Greed is a door for hell. So we must control this. That's what Krishna says. Okay. Let's see the flowery words of Vedas. What is the meaning of flowery words of Vedas? What do you mean by flowery words? Can anybody say, first of all? What are flowery words? Give me an example of flowery words. Where do you see flowery words being used? Hare Krishna, I'm not able to hear you.
Oh,
Come again, sorry.
in home.
Okay, in home. Okay, what else? Where else? I'll tell you an example for flowery words, or not Vedas, but generally flowery words. You see, the kings, when they write their history, they get their history written very nicely. Even though it may not be so glorious, even though they may not have done something great, but they will hire the best writers to write in such a way that, oh, this king is so great, something like that. Okay. So
In
flowery
poems,
words
Prabhuji?
are, sorry?
In poems, they use poem.
Poems, right? For example, Shakespeare, Kalidas, flowery words, ornamental, and very nice similes will be used. Beautiful comparison will be there. So there are a lot of flowery words of the Vedas means, like, for example, when do we use flowery words? For example, at home, when do you use flowery words? Tell me some situation when we use flowery words.
When we want to get things done.
When we want to get things done, that's right. Then we use some flowery words. So we'll say, Papa, you're so nice. right? Right? Mom, you're so good. You're so nice. You work so hard. Right? So these are flowery words, is it not? So like it's called buttering, right? So buttering and sometimes over exaggerating. You know, Kashyapa, when he met Diti, do you remember this in Srimad Bhagavatam? He goes on and
Yes,
he says, do you remember that? He says, he goes on, you know, praising Diti and he says that, you know what, married life is so good. Married life is so good. You see, married life, you can actually get liberated with married life. You know, something excessively, he says, in praise of her. So sometimes flowery words are used. Okay. And sometimes flowery words are used for a purpose, for buttering somebody, especially when we want a benediction from the demigods. We use flowery words. Say, Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhu cha Dravidam Tvameva. Oh God, you are everything. You are this, you are that, you are Parabrahma, you are Paramatma, you are everything. For every God will use the same stotras. You are the universe Lord. There's nobody beyond you. The purpose will be that we want something, that there is something that we need. That's why there'll be some flowery words that will be used. So in the Vedas also, I said, like, you know, for children, sometimes flowery words are used by parents. Like what, for example? Can you tell something?
you're a very intelligent boy. You're very sweet. You're kind-hearted.
Very nice, very intelligent. Yeah, you can do it. Something like that, right? Yeah, I'll give you this, I'll give you that, right? If you're going to do this, you're going to get this, right? And then children will get attracted to it and they start doing it. Correct? But what's the idea? What's the idea in engaging them? Why do we tell that words?
To get the work done.
To get the work done, and then slowly they'll get used to it. They'll start liking it. In the beginning, there's no liking for it. So to get the work done, we exaggerate something, exaggerate it to the next level. So Vedas are so superb. It's written by Vyasdev, and sometimes it's exaggeration, not all the time. Sometimes it's exaggeration. For example, if there is a verse which says that by performing this karma kanda, you can go back to Godhead. That's an exaggeration. You can't go back to Godhead by performing karma kanda. There's nobody who has gone back to Godhead by performing Pitrupinda, for example. But for somebody to engage a person to get him faith that, you know, this fellow will not do anything, ancestor worship nothing, and he'll sit silently. So little bit, there'll be nice masala, right? Similarly, you know, how many of you have done vratas, vrata kalpa? You read the stories of the vrata, will be written. Anybody who does this vrata, they will get this. They'll be happy in this world. Go back to God. So the idea is, I'm not talking about Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is absolute truth. But other than Krishna consciousness, whatever is there is actually flowery words of the Vedas. I'm not saying this. It's not that I'm biased and I'm simply saying Krishna, whatever is there, it's correct. Everything else is exaggeration. No, I'm not saying it. Krishna is saying it. See what he's saying. Let me show you. Very interesting. Let's see what is he saying about the flowery words. Who is getting attracted to the flowery words of the Vedas? Very interesting. Very, very important verse for us to understand the importance of Krishna consciousness. Okay. Yeah, who can read this verse for me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Shall I read?
Yeah, read, Mata.
Yam imam pushpitam vacham prabhadanti avipashitah vedavadha ratah partha nanyat astiti vadinah कामात्मनः स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदां क्रिया विशेष बहुलां भोगैश्वर्य गतिं प्रति. Translation: Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So here is the thing. Like I was saying, if you open the Vedic literature has many things to be done. That's called Kriya Vishesha Bahulam. Kriya Vishesha Bahulam means pompous ceremonies. Vedas is filled with Karma Kanda. 90% of it is Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda is like religious duties to engage people who are naturally unregulated and sinful, to engage them in religion. There are so many rituals which are there. That's called Kriya Vishesha Bahula. Bhoga Aishwarya Gatim Prati. Bhoga Aishwarya. So there will be so many rituals that will be said. If you do this vrata, you are going to get this. You are going to get this. You are going to. And we'll say, Dhanam Dehi, Yasham Dehi, Putram Dehi, Pautram Dehi, this Dehi, that Dehi. So many things will be there. So when we hear that, what will happen? Mind becomes completely bewildered, right? And Krishna is saying, these people are called Veda Vatarataha Partha. That means it will be given. If you are going to perform this Ashwamedha Yajna, you are going to become the king of the heaven. You see? Then the people who are attached to these Vedic rituals and also demigod worship also comes under the same category. They think that, wow, this is the best. This is the best. That's what Krishna is saying. Veda Vadarata Partha Nanyad Astiti Vadinaha. Nanyad Asti. That means there is nothing better than this. They will say, there is nothing better than this. They'll say that. But Krishna, what is he saying them? He's saying, Avipaschitaha. Avipaschitaha. That means men of small intelligence. That means their knowledge is actually very small. So what is the meaning of knowledge? So why is Krishna speaking ill about those people who are following religious activities? They are actually following religious activities, and Krishna is the source of dharma. His incarnation only is Vedas, and he is Vyasadeva himself, who is the compiler of the Vedas, giving all the things. But in this context, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is criticizing those people who are following simple religious principles, which is not Krishna consciousness, other than Krishna consciousness. Can anybody tell me why he is criticizing here in this context?
Because Krishna wants us to go back to home, back to Godhead. He doesn't want us to go to heavenly planets or take birth again. He's giving us the best solution possible. But still, certain peoples are very attached to karma kanda things, and they do it, and they go to heavenly planets or take birth in aristocratic families, or they're satisfied with the opulence, minimal opulence. They're satisfied. So Krishna doesn't want us to do that.
That's right. That's absolutely right. The Vedas are giving us a lot of auspicious paths. But auspicious path means, so for example, somebody who is illiterate, or let us say somebody who is unemployed, even if we get the job of a peon in a government job, that is also good. Agreed? But if we can get the topmost job of the country, then why we must settle for the job of a peon? That's the point here. So Krishna wants to give the best. So here, Arjuna has taken the stand of Veda Vatarata. What stand did Arjuna take? Veda Vatarata. Can anybody tell me why or how Arjuna took the stand of Veda Vatarata? That when did Arjuna say that yes, in the
Arjuna
Vedas?
is highly disturbed. Actually, Arjuna
That's
is
fine.
he's
But
highly
how?
disturbed,
No.
and he doesn't want to kill his own kith and kin and all
Okay,
those.
that's his personal choice. But how has he taken the stand of Karma Kanda in Bhagavad Gita? When did he take and how did he take?
Easy to
He's
escape his doing that.
No,
He
that
did
is personal choice. It's a personal choice. When did he reference?
He took it to please Krishna.
No, that's not correct.
He said he'll become a sage. He'll give up everything and he will renounce everything and he'll go and beg.
Partly can say taking sannyas ashrama, okay, because sannyas ashrama is also ritualistic.
Yes, he
It's
said that.
external. It is external. Okay. Something else he said.
Hmm.
Something else he said. What did he say?
Prabhuji, kindly repeat the question.
The question is, Krishna is actually condemning that karma kanda is not the topmost philosophy, topmost religious principle. Krishna consciousness is the topmost religious principle. He is going to explain, which he is going to explain. But first, he is going to cut and say that's not the best. Whatever you know is not the best. It's not the best.
He's giving up his prescribed duties.
That's right. Okay. On basis of what argument? What is the argument? He gave 5 reasons. One of the reasons was something related with karma kanda.
He's following Vedas.
Where?
If we follow Vedas, then he will be asked not to fight because
No.
of his
He
relative.
said he doesn't want to incur sin.
Yeah, he said that one point. He said that I have heard in the Vedic literature that if you kill your relatives, you're going to incur sin. Number 1. Point number 1. Point number 2. There was one more thing. Something related with if I'm going to kill the elders of the family, something will happen, something will happen, something will happen. Yes. What is
That Pitrun, that thing, the what is that? Nobody will be
The
there to
women
offer
population,
oblations to
the women population will
the
be highly polluted
ancestors.
and
The whole
um,
generation will get what do you call?
Yeah.
Become bad, and there will be nobody worth to offer oblations to our ancestors.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you. Nitya Mataji, go ahead.
yes, Ruchi, the women of the family will be highly polluted if there is no men in the no proper guidance from the elders. If elders are died in the war, if they die, women will be highly polluted. That is.
As a consequence of that, what happens next? Women gets polluted, and then next what happens?
Not a good child, no religious
Rise of unwanted population.
Unwanted population. Yeah.
What happens as a consequence of rise of unwanted population? Varna Sankara. What happens next? There's a key link here. It's like a link. He gives a chain link kind of argument. If there is unwanted population, what happens next?
Right.
There won't be people to serve dharma.
No, when there is an unwanted population,
They are non-Aryan.
Yeah, family tradition. Do you remember that?
Non-Aryan.
Culture goes down.
Family traditions will be destroyed. Kula dharma. So he's taken the stand. So he's now talking. Arjuna said, in the Vedas, it is said you must follow family traditions. If your family is saying your family deity is so and so, let us say your family deity is Kala Bhairava. You must worship Kala Bhairava only. You must not worship anybody. Let's say the family deity is saying that you are supposed to be worshipping like this. You must do like that. If the family tradition is saying if somebody in the family is dying, you must not go to the temple, then you must not go to the temple. You must not go to Ratha Yatra. You must not actually pull the Ratha also. Are you able to sense something here? That's what he's saying, right? Family traditions, our family traditions. So he's saying if the link is like this, he says if elders of the family die, women will not be protected. The women become polluted. As a result of that, unwanted population will come. When unwanted population comes, family tradition gets destroyed. When family tradition gets destroyed, they won't offer. Next, what is that? They don't offer what?
That pinda to the ancestors.
Oblations.
You don't offer oblations to the ancestors. And as a result of that, next what happens? To the ancestors and to the people who are not offering. What happens?
More sinful activity, more sinful sin will be
Yeah, he says the ancestors will go to hell because oblations are not being given. What happens to those people who are not offering oblations?
Ancestors will get a very it is our duty to offer oblations to our ancestors.
Okay, that's fine. Ancestors will go to hell. What about those people who are not offering? What happens to them? Who are not offering?
Incur sin.
They incur sin, they also go to hell. That's what Arjuna says. All the people will be in hell. The people who are not offering and the people who are not being offered. Everybody will go to hell because of me. Because of following your advice. You're asking me to break the family traditions. Got it? That's what Krishna is actually cutting that argument. And what's the counter for this? Krishna's counter for that. What is important? Yeah, you tell me. I want to hear from you. What is the counter argument of Krishna? Now, all the family traditions, all the Vedic Karmakanda on one side and instructions of Krishna on the other side, what are the instructions of Krishna?
Choose the right path.
What is that right path?
If you don't fight, sorry, Prabhuji.
He's failing from his Kshatriya duty. He is to fight.
That's also given in the Vedas. That's not a problem. That's not something extraordinary that Krishna has to explain.
And
That
Krishna
is
has
already
planned
given.
everything. Krishna has planned everything. He has to be only an instrument, he tells.
Yes. Krishna has planned Krishna's instrument. To become a Krishna's instrument is more important than anything else.
To do his
And
prescribed
believing in the
duties.
other things.
To become instrument of Krishna, to do devotional service of Krishna is more important than Kula Dharma, family traditions, than Vedic Karma Kanda, than anything else, because Krishna is saying, if somebody is saying no, actually I've read in the Vedas, Shastras are saying that we have to follow family traditions, we should not change it. You are saying worship Krishna, no, not allowed. Then Krishna is saying they are men of small knowledge. They are attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets. That means whatever we are doing generally are meant for elevating to where? Elevating to
Heavenly
where?
planets.
Heavenly planets. All the traditions are given to elevate us only to heavenly planets and for a better birth and power and so forth. But Krishna consciousness, where does it take you? Does it take you beyond heavenly planets, or it's also another system, just an alternative for one of these? It's also one of the
Takes you to a
systems.
place where you will never come back.
That's the point. Yad gatvana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. It's much more serious. The point is, if you, at the time of remembering your body, you must remember Krishna. That's it. That's the injunction of Krishna. It's nothing like any other tradition that comes on the way. We must remember Krishna. We must always worship Krishna, always think of him and go back to God. That's the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate instruction. How many of you got that? Type me in the chat. Let me see how many of you got that. That was a little deep and powerful also. Type me in the chat. Okay, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you. Now, let's talk about this dense forest of delusion. What is this dense forest of delusion? How many of you went to a forest here? Type me in the chat. How many of you like nature? How many of you like going to forests? How many of you like going to a forest of delusion? How many of us are actually in a dense forest of delusion right now? Right? So let's see what's that. Interesting verse. Yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. Can you speak? Can somebody read this shloka? So by the way, before going to that, now tell me, if somebody tells you, if your Purohit tells you, somebody in your family has died, don't chant Hare Krishna for 1 year, what will you do? Will you follow your family traditions or chant Hare Krishna?
We will chant Hare Krishna.
Chant Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that's what Krishna is saying. Krishna consciousness is beyond everything, right? That's the point. You should not give up Krishna consciousness even at the time of death. At any point of time, we must not give up Krishna consciousness. Even if anybody says, Shukracharya said the same thing to Bali Maharaj, but Bali Maharaj just gave up such Shukracharya. Such Acharya is called as a, Shukracharya is like a material Acharya, material Guru, not a spiritual Guru. Such instructions are not supposed to be given by a Guru. Don't worship Krishna. That's actually
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
opposite instruction. Yes, Mataji.
But in that Vibhuti Yoga chapter, Muninam, he says, no, I am Shukracharya.
He's opulence. It doesn't mean that that means among all the intelligent people or among all the thinkers, he's Shukracharya. So he's opulent. Shukracharya is not somebody ordinary. He's the guru of the demons. But that doesn't mean Ushana. That doesn't mean Shukracharya's instructions are ultimate. That's what we have to understand. Krishna's instructions are ultimate. Vibhuti Yoga means external manifestation. doesn't mean it is him. Doesn't mean that Shukracharya is Krishna. I shall worship Krishna now. No. Because Krishna also says, I am the sun, I am the moon. He says among cheating, I am gambling. We don't worship gambling. Right?
Correct.
That's like that. Okay?
Prabhuji, I have one doubt.
Yes,
But
please.
having desire is wrong then?
Desire?
Without desire,
Desire?
having desire is wrong.
It's actually not wrong, but it's our enemy.
But without desire, how is possible to live?
Hare Krishna
We
Prabhuji,
should-
somewhere I
yes.
Where
read,
is the light? Like,
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, somewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam, I think I came across.
Yes.
I think desire, everybody should have desire. We cannot control desire. It will come naturally. But we have to direct it into Krishna consciousness. That's all is guidance.
That's right.
Like, good
That's-
desire you should have. Desire, it is not possible to live without desire, is what I read somewhere in the book, Prabhuji.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes, that's a nice answer. You see, let's think about the gopis. What was their desire?
Krishna Prema. Only desire is Krishna Prema, Prabhuji.
They were doing worship, everything they were doing. And what did they ask? And what was the purpose of that Katyayani Vrata that they did?
They want Krishna as their husband.
They want Krishna as their husband. Correct? So that is the topmost desire. So yes, at the moment, we are in the material world. Our mind is polluted by these material modes of material nature, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and Satvaguna, 3 of these gunas. We are trying to purify. It doesn't happen in a day. That we heard today and tomorrow our desires are changed. It's a process. Cheto Darpana Marjanam means what? It is cleansing of the heart. We have to clean our heart. So desire, there are 2 types of desire. Okay. One is called as lust. One is called as love. Kama and prema. What is kama? What is prema? Can anybody tell me what is kama and what's prema? There's only one difference. It's a simple difference. Kama and prema.
One is selfless love, one is selfish love.
No, that's not the thing. Kama means Atmendriya Priti Taranama Kama. That
Sense
means
gratification.
Can you just take this analogy, Prabhuji, of growing a plant? That is, if you love a plant, you will nurture it. Sorry, I'm not getting it, sir.
Prabhu, I understood. I'll tell it.
Yeah,
It
please.
is satisfying your material senses with lust, and satisfying your spiritual senses is prema.
Satisfying Krishna's senses is prema.
It is Krishna's senses is
Yes.
prema.
And it is not that when we satisfy Krishna's senses, our senses won't be satisfied. They'll be fully satisfied, much more than how much ever you can imagine. For example, I may have a desire that I want to build a house for myself to live. But if I actually construct a house for Krishna, I'll have a house where? Not only you can live in that house which you have built for Krishna, you can also have a house in the spiritual world forever. So Krishna will build a house for you in the spiritual world. Got it? So that's more permanent. So we should actually purify our intelligence and convert our lust into love for Krishna. So directing from inwards, towards our senses, towards Krishna's senses. Similarly, Arjuna also, you see that Arjuna, what were his desires in the beginning of the war? What was his desire? What did he want? What did he say to Krishna when he said, what was his desire? He said, at the beginning of before Krishna convinced him.
He didn't want to fight.
Yeah, and then become what? He was aspiring for something. What was that?
Sannyasi.
He wanted to become a mendicant. He said, I want to just give up. I want to become a mendicant, right? I want to become a sannyasi. He was saying like that. I don't want to fight. So this is called personal like. That I want, I like, I hate. I like this, I hate this. I like this, I hate this. That's personal. But Krishna convinced him, and at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, what did he say? Shloka. Anybody remembers that?
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati
No.
He surrenders fully to Krishna and
Yes, it says Karishe Vachanam Tava.
then it does as per his this thing.
He says, Krishna, I shall do whatever you are saying. That's it.
He was convinced finally.
Yes, he was fully convinced. He said, I shall do whatever you want.
I'm prepared to act according to instructions.
That's it. Your instructions is my will. So Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Te Koriho Aikya. So spiritual process means giving up our desire and aligning with the aspiration of the Guru, right? Etc. Yeah, Suresh Prabhu said, Krishna has already planned what we deserve. And we have to be satisfied with what we have. We should not ask for material things. That's right. For everybody, all the material things have already been planned. Even if we endeavor, we may not get it. I may endeavor for something, but if Krishna doesn't sanction, we won't get it. And it's actually already given. Ishavashamidam sarvam yatkicha jagatyam jagat. That means tena tyatvena bunjita. That means we should be satisfied with what Krishna gives. And we should align ourselves with Krishna. Then we'll get an eternal spiritual life. But all the lifetimes we've been doing the same thing. We're just following what we want. And we have never been able to liberate ourselves. Am I right? So for liberation, we have to align our desires with Krishna. Is that okay?
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah, it's difficult. I understand. It's not a day's process. That's the reason why we have to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra as per the regulative principles.
Prabhuji, what is the verse for delusion?
Delusion,
Forest of delusion.
moha.
No. What is the verse that you have? Which is the number?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Just sharing it. 2.52.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yada te moha kalilam buddhi. Okay. So now the thing is dense, the forest of delusion. See, sometimes when you go into a forest, maybe you go for a sanctuary or I don't know, for safari, sometimes we go. If the forest is so dense, let us imagine a situation. Okay. Let's say we went to a sanctuary forest for staying. And then what happened was, as we were going, the jeep got punctured. Okay, we are in the middle of the forest. Okay, so maybe 90 kilometers within, something like that. And jeep got punctured and tried something, he tried changing, but the stepney tire also got punctured. Now it's actually becoming very dark. It's becoming very dark and feeling very hungry also. Now, there's nothing to be seen around. It's just a road and then, some people are within the jeep and some people said, okay, we'll go and find out we'll do something. They went inside, maybe let us see if there is somebody inside. Go deep into it. Let's say there's one person has gone deep and the phone signal is now not working because the phone signal is gone, switched off. Okay. And we're not able to contact that person now. Okay? He's gone very deep inside now. So everybody's getting worried. It's every night and there's the sounds of the birds chirping, creak, creak, creak. Right? So then you see some glowing kind of light, 2 eyes. Right? And then there's a growl. How would it be? Can you imagine such situation? You don't know where you're going. Everything is so dark, completely lost. Krishna is saying, actually, we are in that kind of a forest right now. Right now, at this moment, we are in that forest. We never know. First of all, we don't have visibility. How many of us have a visibility of what's going to happen after 5 years? Type me in the chat if there is anybody here who has a visibility of after 5 years, what's going to happen in your life? Anybody has any visibility? What's going to happen after 1 year? Do you have visibility? After 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, forget it. After 1 year, do you have visibility? There's no visibility. It's so dark. Everything is dark. It's like a dense forest of delusion. We are right now in that forest of delusion. Okay. We don't know where we are going also. Seriously. Is it not? We're just simply walking here and there. We're hungry. And we have maybe we are like 3-4 people together, like a family going together somewhere, right? Or as a society or 100 people are going everywhere, somewhere lost in the forest. So we are in the dense darkness of delusion. That's what Krishna is saying. But when your intelligence has passed out of that dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to what that has been heard and that is to be heard. So, tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. So after you, if that dense delusion is gone, our mind is having so much of delusion, moha. We have so much of delusion. We think that, okay, I shall do this, I shall do that. People will help me, some plans. We have so many plans in life. That's all delusion. Actually, moha it is. But once that is cleared, if you completely clear that forest, then, you'll be very clear what you are supposed to be doing in life. Shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. If somebody is going to say, hey, what are you doing? What are you chanting? Why are you wasting your life, man? Why don't you just enjoy your life? Come on. Then shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. You're indifferent to what has been heard and what is that is supposed to be heard. Yeah, people will keep saying so many things. Nobody actually has any clue what's happening in their life. How can they guide others, right? Blind man leading the blind. How it is possible? That's very powerful. Okay, how many of you, it has gone deep? Type GD in the chat. If it has gone very deep, dense forest of delusion. Type GD in the chat. Yeah, feel free to add anything at any point of time. Let's go for the next one. Night and day for the introspective sage. Right? Are you seeing how powerful these analogies are? These analogies are given by Krishna, right? Who's a supremely knowledgeable, supreme personality of Godhead from the topmost literature in the world. Bhagavad Gita, powerful. Night and day for the introspective sage. Let's see that. What's that? What is an analogy of day and night? Anybody knows this analogy? Heard of this?
For the
Devas. It's for
enlightened
Devas.
person. Sorry. Continue, Mataji.
Sorry, only that much I could tell. You continue, Mataji. Sorry.
For a person who is ignorant, his night is different from a person who is enlightened.
Yeah, that's right. So can you tell an example of that? What does that mean? Tell an example of how, for a person who is in knowledge, his day is different from the day of an ignorant person.
His activities will be different, Prabhuji, and his the activities that he performs will be different from the person what the enlightened person will do.
Yeah, that's right.
Like the rishi will wake up at 3 a.m. but this guy will sleep till God knows when.
Yeah, can be.
And his
It can be
thinking
9,
also will be like that. His work will be like that.
Yes, that's
It's
right.
totally opposite.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, yes, Prabhu, you are saying something. Ganga Prabhu. Ganga Prabhu, you are saying something.
Valmiki, I said, they
Valmiki.
change people.
Valmiki got changed from a dacoit to spiritual person.
Dacoit to Rishi. I mean,
Correct.
after Jnana.
Once upon a time, he was a
Following
hunter. That's
Yes.
nice. Once upon a time, he was a hunter, hunting sport, right? It's hunting. And then now like completely spiritual, chanting Ramanama, right? So that's nice. So Yanisha Sarvabhutanam. Very nice shloka. Anybody want to read this shloka?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yeah, please.
Bhagavad Gita 2.69. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami yasyam jagarati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehi. Translation by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-control, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You see, a very contrasting example is like, you see the bars and the clubs, night clubs, we call them, they don't call the day club. Do you see anybody dancing in the night clubs at 4 a.m.? Anyone? Would the nightclubs run at 4 a.m.? Will they get
They are
the
drunk,
customers?
Prabhuji. They are drunk.
No. I think it closes by 2:33, like that and all, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Even if they are open till 4 also, people will not be able to connect at that time. At 4 o'clock,
Yes.
if you ask people to dance and drink and dance, they won't be able to do. Of course, there can be some extraordinary people. They're not talking about them. But generally, people may not be like connecting at 4 a.m. or dancing drunk. But 4 a.m. we see the devotees, in the ashram, and they're waking up early in the morning. At 4:30, we see them dancing. Right? Hare Krishna, we saw that. Right? So this is a different night and day. So we can't compare that. They said that. So just like one of my friend was saying, what's the difference between your Hare Krishna people dancing and those people who are dancing in the club? This is the difference. Right? The difference is this, that whatever is day, ya nisha sarvabhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami. So what is a night for all the beings? The self-control person is awake.
The difference is that the devotees will be in Sattva Gun and they will be in Tamagun.
Tamagun.
Right?
That's the point. Tamagun and Sattva Gun. Somebody who's in Tamagun, what are the qualities? Lazy, inattentive, not preparing, not practicing, not controlling mind, not doing devotional service. Right? Doing all the anti-habits. Right? So that's what I mean, that's what is day and night. So that's the reason why, sometimes when one of the friends becomes a devotee, the other friends will say, what happened to you? Stop coming to the parties. What's wrong with you? There's some nice movie that I'll send you, some short film is there. I think by Bhakti Today, they did a nice short. I'll send you sometime. It's interesting. Okay, so let's go to the next one. All devouring sinful enemy of this world. What is the sinful enemy of this world? Who is your enemy? Can you type in the chat?
Mind, Prabhuji.
Okay, mind. What else? Mind is enemy. And is it also the good friend? Mind is also
Yeah,
friend,
it's also
right?
a good friend. Depends how you use it.
Depends how to use it. Mind can be a good friend or enemy, both. But here it's saying 100% enemy. And all devouring means it is devouring means what? Finishing, eating. What's that?
Is it desire, Prabhuji?
Yeah, that's right. It's lust. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Anybody can say this? Read this. Rajoguna, actually. Yeah, that's the right answer. Anybody can read the shloka? Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhavaha mahachano mahapapma vidhi enam iha vairinam. So let us see word to word meaning. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, personality of God, it said, Kamaha, lust. Eshaha, this. Krodhaha, wrath. Eshaha, this. Rajoguna, the mode of passion. Samudbhavaha, born of. Mahashanaha, all devouring. Mahapapma, greatly sinful. Vidhi, no. Enam, this. Iha, in the material world. Vairinam, greatest enemy. The Supreme Personality of God said it is the lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into the wrath, which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of the world. If there is any sinful enemy in the world, you know what that is? It is lust. Lust converts into anger. Lust is also desire. Okay, don't
First
think lust
greed,
is...
then anger.
Yeah, lust followed by anger, greed followed by anger, right? So first we become very greedy about something. And then, why are all the crimes being committed? All the crimes that are being committed in the world is because of some excessive greed, right? Am I right? Why do people, we hear about a lot of chit funds, right? They collect money and they run off. Scams, right? Spams, right? All the Ponzi schemes. Am I right? And of course, they are very contrasting examples, but even something small also, whatever desires that we have is actually an enemy for us. Because desire can anytime, become very big and it can actually, spoil us. Of course, Krishna says that if you are having a religious desire, then that is not, that's okay. A religious desire is okay. And the best desire is to have desire aligned with Krishna. That becomes prema, just like that of the gopis. Gopis, they want to serve. Like Srila Prabhupada, for example, his desire is that He wants to build 108 temples. In only 11 years, he constructed 108 temples. Right? So, for example, he used to push people very hard, his disciples. Right? So, for example, they said Chaitanya Charitamrita, 6 volumes. He asked how much time it's going to take. They calculated and said 1 year. He said, no, do something better. They said 6 months. Max, there's no chance. 6 months. 6 volumes, 6 months. Prabhupada said 1 month. Finish it in 1 month. And they worked day and night, and finished in 1 month. Prabhupada said, this pleased me. Right? That one sentence is enough. And the spiritual master is saying. So this is called spiritual desire. Right? Spiritual desire. We must try to align ourselves with spiritual desires. That means we are progressing. Should have spiritual desire. Right? Now let's go to the next one. Anybody can read this? Yes, go ahead and unmute. Yeah, go ahead.
Embryo is covered by the womb. Thank you, Prabhuji.
We couldn't hear you. One mistake.
Sorry, I just got a call. That is why, sorry, Prabhuji. Fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hi. Okay. So thing is, lust is covering everything. You know what is the meaning of lust covering? I'll tell you one example. In this verse only, Krishna is saying, this very important verse. As a fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, as embryo is covered by womb, the living entity is similarly covered in different degrees of lust. So sometimes we see, if you are lighting some kind of damp wood, there's a little bit of fire, there's more smoke. You can't see the fire because of the smoke. And mirror and dust. If there's a lot of dust on the mirror, you can't see yourself on the mirror, right? And then the womb is covered with amniotic fluid, right? So you need to do an what is that? Ultrasonic sound to see. Even in there, it's not so clear, isn't it? You can't see everything crystal clear, can you? You can't, no. It's covered with that amniotic fluid, right? So these are all like comparisons that Krishna is saying. Similarly, living entity is covered by different degrees of lust. Our desires are covering our living entity. We have forgotten who we are. We don't even know who we are. We are completely bewildered right now. We are thinking, I'm so and so. My duty is so and so. My life aim is to do this. This is my life goal. We are thinking like that. But we are the spirit soul. And our goal is actually to go back to Godhead. And we may theoretically hear this, but to realize it, this lust has to be removed. Okay, lust cannot be eliminated. We just have to convert it into love by adding Krishna. That is, having a family, Krishna conscious family is not wrong. Having kids to raise them in Krishna consciousness is not wrong. That's right. That's recommended. Earning money to serve Krishna is not wrong. These are all recommended. It's good. Nothing wrong about it. But it should not be the opposite case that we have a family which is not helping us to do Krishna consciousness. We have children and because of them we forgot Krishna consciousness. And we have so many goals of life which have actually taken us away from Krishna consciousness. That is called actually lust. So we have to add Krishna to our life and purify ourselves. Okay. Next one, please. Who's going to read this?
Okay, Prabhuji, can I read?
Yeah.
You will be able to cross over the ocean of material miseries in the boat of transcendental knowledge.
Okay. What is this boat? It looks like a special boat. Thank you. What is this boat? Transcendental knowledge boat. So, and what is this ocean of material miseries? Can anybody explain? What does this mean? Let's see that. This is a very important verse. Api chetasi papebhya sarvebhya papakrittama sarva jnana plavenaiva vrijinam santarishyasi. Even if you're considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you're situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you'll be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Ocean of miseries means at the moment we are in an ocean of miseries. That's why it's called samsara sagara, dukkha sagara. It's full of miseries and it's the ocean. We cannot cross this ocean ourselves without a boat. We need a boat. And examples of those who have crossed. Can you tell me some examples of very sinful people who have crossed with the help of devotional service this ocean of miseries?
Ajamila.
Ajamila. What else? Who else? Who else? Valmiki, Ratnakara.
Valmiki, Vishwamitra.
Vishwamitra, we can't say he's not a. We can't say he's a great sinner in that way.
Prabhu, he is not a sinner.
He may be because he attacked Vashishta, but I'm not sure if we can call him the greatest sinner. It's difficult for me to judge. Yeah. So some examples are like, you see Ratnakara, Valmiki, best example, right? Somebody who is completely doing sinful activity all the time, full-time sinful activity. By Guru comes in, Narada, and gives him the mantra. This is the process. Guru gives the mantra. Mantra is Krishna Nama. And then by chanting this Krishna mantra, he'll get transcendental knowledge. And then he'll be able to cross over the ocean of material miseries. Let's go next. The doubts must be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. What is this weapon? Special weapon. You've heard of AK-47 and missiles. What is this? A new weapon. Weapon of knowledge. What are these doubts? What are these doubts? Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight. So right now, Arjuna is having so many doubts. He's saying, what if, what if, what if, what if, what if, what if? What if I'm going to kill them? I'm going to become a sinner. What if I'm going to kill them? My hands will be tainted with blood. What if I kill them? Family traditions will be broken. What if, what if, what if? Krishna is saying, arm yourself with knowledge. When you get the weapon of knowledge, you can kill that.
Weapon is devotional service, Prabhu.
Knowledge, weapon of knowledge. Knowledge is again knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Knowledge of Krishna consciousness. See, to do devotional service also, you need knowledge, right? So if somebody is getting directly convinced, if somebody says, okay, chant Hare Krishna 24/7. If somebody takes that instruction and just doing it, perfect. But the usual case is we get a lot of knowledge first, right? Why should I chant? And why not do anything else, right? Why should I do Krishna consciousness? That's knowledge. Is that okay? Bhagavad Tattva Jnana, that's called. Okay. Reside happily in the city of 9 gates. What is this city of 9 gates? Anybody can say? Have you heard of this? Navadvara Puri. It's not Navadvipa, it is Navadvara Puri. What is that Navadvara Puri? Have you gone? Anybody has gone to this place? Navadvara?
We are entrapped in that.
What are the 9 gates?
Nose, ear, mouth,
Yeah.
and anus, genitals.
Correct. That's right. There are 9 holes in our body. Eyes, nose, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, 2 ears, and genitals. So there are like 9 gates are there for this body. If we are able to renounce all the actions, when the embodied living being controls his nature. See, controlling our nature is very important because our nature may not agree to what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying something. Arjuna's nature is saying, no, I shall not fight. Somebody's nature will say something else. They'll say, why should I do chanting? I'll do meditation. Somebody can say. Somebody can say, why Krishna? Why not some other demigod? Somebody can say, why this at all? I'll do something. I don't even need a book. There's some people who are saying, I don't need a book. My experience is my knowledge. Why do I need Bhagavad Gita? I don't need Bhagavad Gita. I am Bhagavad Gita. So There are different kinds of foolish people, right? So, but we have to control our nature. This speculative nature we have to control. Because we are not, I mean, if we are so intelligent, then why don't write another Bhagavad Gita? If somebody says that, okay, I don't need Bhagavad Gita, then why not write another one, which is better than Bhagavad Gita? Can anybody write? Has there anybody been able to write 700 verses? Only 700 verses. It comes in a pocket dictionary, right? Pocket form. Sometimes it's so small. It can even come in this form also, small form also. Can somebody put all this knowledge in 700 verses? Not possible.
No problem.
Yeah. So if you control your nature and renounce all the actions, renouncing action doesn't necessarily mean becoming sannyasi. A lot of people misunderstand spirituality to inaction. No, Krishna is not saying do inaction. Krishna is saying do action, karma yoga. That is, offer the results to Krishna. That is level 1. Level 2, best devotional service. Better than that. Start with level 1. Whatever you are doing, offer it to Krishna. And when you mature, or if you can actually take up the next one, level 2 immediately, that's better. That's even more powerful. Bhakti yoga. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga. Advanced stage of karma yoga is bhakti yoga. Mind is a friend and enemy of the conditioned soul. Who is our best friend? Who is our best enemy? Worst enemy. It's our mind. Right? Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hi atmaro bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. One must deliver himself with the help of this mind and do not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and is enemy as well. Can somebody give me an example of when our mind can become an enemy? Tell me the example.
Many examples, Prabhuji.
Yeah, tell me some.
Just your mind will tell, don't listen to this your spiritual guru.
Yeah.
Happily you sleep off
Yes.
and enjoy material happiness. This is all ambak.
That's what it says. Mind will say it's humbug. Don't waste time. What is all this? Waking up early in the morning. What are you doing? Who has seen? Who has seen God? Who has written these books? Who knows? Who wrote these books? You're just simply wasting your precious life. What's going on? This is called an enemy. Because it's going to, final destination will be hell. If we just ignore Krishna consciousness, if we ignore spirituality, what is going to happen? We'll be engaged in sinful activities. And our mind also will not be in our control. But if we engage in spiritual activities, waking up early in the morning, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, doing Mangalarti, deity worship, see association of devotees, hearing Krishna Katha, purifies us. We gradually can ourselves see changes in us. Right? You see, we used to get angry more often before. Now it becomes less often. It used to become like we could not control our senses before. Now we have better control. We are able to stop. Whenever we want, we are able to stop. When we say it's Ekadashi, we don't even feel like eating. Right? Or even if you eat, you will eat only some kind of non-grain. Right? So that's what happens. So we must deliver ourselves with the help of the mind and not degrade himself. So how do you deliver yourself with the help of mind? Tell me. Tell me example of how do you engage your mind to become upgraded and not degraded.
Training it, Prabhuji. We just have to tame it, like tame it and train it.
I'm talking about mind. What's the best example? What's the best way to engage mind?
To be spiritually active.
Krishna consciousness.
Okay, there's a verse on that.
Active,
right?
actually spiritually active, Prabhuji.
Yeah, mind means mana, desire, right? How many of you remember that verse from Ambarish Maharaj? What did Ambarish Maharaj do to his mind? How was he engaging his mind? Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo means Ambarish Maharaj engaged his mind in the lotus feet of Krishna, in meditating about the lotus feet of Krishna. He was always thinking, how can I serve Krishna? How can I serve Krishna? How can I serve Krishna? That was his mind. That is called delivering yourself with the help of mind. What's the opposite of that? Degrading yourself with the help of mind. What is the opposite of that? Not meditating on the feet of Krishna. Then what's the worst opposite of that?
Surrendering to Maya.
Surrendering to Maya. Right? Taking the opposite route, sense gratification. Mind is always engaged. There's some people who watch a lot of movies. That's actually degradation. Right? The people who are watching, what's that called? Binge watching. What's binge watching? Is it upgradation or degradation of mind? What do you think?
Degradation.
Friends, serial, web series.
Degradation.
Yeah. All of this. I don't know. There's so many other series that have come. Right? How I Met Your Mother. So many nonsense serials are there. If you just keep on watching this web series, what happens? Right? Degrades. Mind degrades, becomes lusty. And mind will become lusty. And forget about Krishna consciousness. First will become sinful, fallen. So mind has to be trained properly. Right? Yeah. Okay. There's some more. Looks like the many. We'll stop here. So, and we'll reflect. Hare Krishna. So I want you people to reflect and tell me what is it that you have learned.
That Prabhuji, I'm still have a long way to go, Prabhuji. I have to read and read and read and read and read.
Okay.
And what is that? Abhyasa. Is lot of abhyasa is required, Prabhuji, for us.
That's right. Lot of tivrena. Yeah, it's like lot of devotion. We have to do tivrena bhakti yogena. We have to do concentrated devotional service. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Yes.
That's a good symptom of knowledge, actually. I remember in my college, my professor said in the first lecture, he said, when you're studying undergraduation, you think that you know everything. Okay. When you study post-graduation, you think that you know something. But when you do PhD, what happens?
You realize you don't know anything.
You realize that actually you don't know anything. Right? So Krishna consciousness is the PhD of knowledge. So that's a good symptom. That means that we feel humble that I don't know anything. Yeah, that's right. Okay, any more realizations? Yeah, please share. Please share. Go ahead. What's it that you have learned? Yes, Renuka Mataji. Want to share something?
Yes, Prabhuji. When we are listening, it is all very nice,
Yes.
and we want to follow it.
Yes.
But practically, sometimes it's not possible. Very difficult. Actually, last week I had gone to Rajasthan, Prabhuji,
Okay.
because my BP was going very high. I thought I can get a change, so I went there. And when I went there, my BP was normal because
That's
maybe.
nice.
And when I came home, again it went very high.
That means
So it is
you
the
need some break.
point of yeah. So see, following is very difficult, Prabhuji.
That's right.
But very difficult. We just
Following is
read
difficult.
it, and while reading, we should follow. We feel, but it's very difficult.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. So one trick is very simple. The trick is very simple. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the trick. The purpose of all these classes, Bhagavad Gita, is not to become a master of Vedanta. Right? Vedanta Jnana. We can deliver classes, become an expert in delivering classes also. Mind has to be controlled, blah, 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 blah. But the point is, the practical aspect is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Chanting the names of Krishna is the only practical way to actually gain into this as given by Acharyas. Chanting Hare Krishna, first chanting the names of Krishna, start with that first. You have to chant the names of Krishna. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yes, yes, thank you. Who else is, anybody who wants to share? What did you learn? Naresh Prabhu. What's your takeaway? Nitya Mataji, takeaway.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanwad Pranam. Prabhuji, every class is like giving us a lot of takeaways, and this class, Prabhuji, like every time I relate myself to Arjuna's situation only, Prabhuji, I always think that I'm just think like him only, and always, and Krishna is giving remedies and solutions. And one thing is I need to do a lot of hard work in spiritual. Spiritual. I don't remember verses. I don't memorize verses. There's a lot. Today we're asking so many verses to remember. I didn't remember, Prabhuji. So I think I need to do a lot of work is there in reading Bhagavad Gita and all that. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, Indra Haridas Mataji, do you want to share something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
This mind is our friend and mind is also our enemy. But I think it is better if mind is always our friend, how to make it, you should know.
Yes, engage in the lotus feet of Krishna. We should engage mind in
That
service.
is better.
Yeah, that's
That is the best way.
Yeah, we should think how I can do better service to Krishna. You should think, always think about that. How can I make it better? It's unlimitedly deep, okay? Krishna consciousness. Because you see, Srila Prabhupada, he built 108 temples. But is he satisfied with that? No. Even if there are 1 million temples, Prabhupada would like more. Prabhupada would like all the entire universe to become devotees. Right? So that's called spiritual desire, isn't it? Spiritual desire means Krishna, how can I serve? Krishna is a person. It's not a invisible light. He's a person, is Krishna. Personal relationship. He's our father, right? He's our best friend. How can I serve my best friend? How can I serve my father? Should always keep meditating on that. How can I improve? Like that we should think. How can I serve? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Anybody else wants to go? Gangay Prabhu. We'll hear from Gangay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Formerly, I was very ignorant after coming to the Krishna this way. Slowly coming to this Krishna, this one, I want to study the books and all like this, but somehow I forgetting immediately I got this one. So somehow I am in this progress in the spiritual life. I am chanting, reading books of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Charitamrita, and other popular books. I'm trying to improve my spiritual knowledge. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you, Prabhu. Keep chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Let's all unmute and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare